April 19th, 1995. This is a day in which people will always remember. And to this day, this is one of the most tragic and most devastating disasters yet. This man that you see driving is an all-American patriarch. Santa Claus, Easter bunnies, leprechauns, you name it. He loved all of those American dreams, but he will destroy them in a matter of minutes. Meanwhile, they were ordinary Americans going throughout their daily routines, going to work and going to daycare, for example like this. But sooner, this building will blow up. This was the story of the Oklahoma City bombing, in which 168 people were killed by this young lad by the name of Timothy McVeigh, in which this was all revenge for the Waco siege. What was going through his mind, and why did he do it? But before we ask that, in this New Year's special of Disasters of Yesteryear, we will ask how, what, and why people said boom, Oklahoma. April 19th, 1995. Pretty soon, all hell will break loose. The Oklahoma City bombing was one of the worst disasters in the modern day, in which a federal building in Oklahoma City got exploded after it got after you know the rest. You can just watch the entire video. In this truck that you see here is a Ryder rental truck, in which the person driving it is the man who rented the truck, a man by the name of Timothy James McVeigh, a former Gulf War veteran, and his target, the Alfred P. Murrah Building in Oklahoma City. Timothy James McVeigh is the man behind this entire attack. He had been planning it ever since the Waco siege, which also happened on April 19th. April 19th was the designated date of McVeigh's plan. The Alfred P. Murrah Building is a government-owned building. Inside contains offices, just like the TV show The Office. Get it? Like Dunder Mifflin? Anyways, the second floor contains a daycare center, in which people who are going to do their daily routines can send their children to this specific daycare, like the one that you're seeing here. This is from the second floor of the Murrah Building, in which doomsday had begun. The entire plot of the entire bombing was based on a racist book known as the Turner Diaries, in which it tells the story about how a man bombed a government-owned building, ultimately leading a race war. So the entire plot is that McVeigh was starting a race war, meaning war against racism, war against race versus race. Time is ticking. The Murrah Building is about to explode into smithereens. And here on the highway, en route to the Murrah Building, we see the rented Ryder truck. The truck contains steel barrels, like drums. Not those drums, these drums. They contain ammonium nitrate mixed with a flammable liquid, first fuse and then the second one. McVeigh is seen here driving and carrying with him, well, on the other seat is an envelope. This specific envelope contains grants, newspaper clippings, and a letter to why he did it. McVeigh parks in front of the building and goes off. He gets out of the car, which is connected to the mirror building, in which he gets out, locks the car, and leaves his gun. He then makes a run for it. The time is ticking. The truck that McVeigh was using was a Ryder rental truck that he filled up with iron drums filled with ammonium nitrate mixed with fuel and fertilizer, in which all of the drums were connected by a fuse, in which when the fuse hits the dynamite that is inside of the ammonium nitrate and fuel mixture, it would ignite everything that is in the barrel. You know what I'm talking about.
Receive information regarding him.
Everybody, let's get out of here. Now, watch the electricity line. Watch the light. Watch the light. Out the back door.
The damage was done. The pain is gone. In which, after the disaster, McVeigh was then pulled over for driving without a license plate. In which, in this incident, McVeigh was arrested. In the wake of the disaster, what ended were bits and pieces of rubble, broken glass, broken toys, and death, in which 168 people had died, in which that included 19 children, 149 adults, in which some of them worked for 14 federal agencies, including the DEA, ATF, SSA, and some military branches like the US Army and US Marine Corps. McVeigh's colleague in the entire attack was a man named Terry Nichols, in which Nichols had worked with McVeigh during his military days, because McVeigh and Nichols were both Gulf War vets. And before the days of the bombing, April 19, before the day of the bombing, Nichols had already dropped out of the plan. This was the Oklahoma City bombing, in which 168 people were killed. And for that we say good night, good luck,